So we have the official start of the Isle of Anglesey Coastal Path. And it actually starts outside of a 14th century church, which itself is in the grounds of a 4th century Roman fort. Hi guys, it's Nigel from Ambling Trails. You may hear the distant sound of the sea in the background. So behind me in the distance, across the sea there, you should be able to see Holyhead. That's where I started this morning. So I've travelled about 2 miles on the 130 mile coastal path. I'm hoping to complete this in about 7 days, and obviously doing 6 nights or so of wild camping. There's about 13,500 feet of climb to ascend as well, but that, given over 130 miles, does make it relatively flat. However, one of the biggest difficulties I'm facing seems to be, being a coastal path, is the wind and obviously the impact it has on my recording. So apologies for that in advance. And it has actually taken me these couple of miles to find a relatively sheltered spot to enable this recording. Anyhow, enough of the talking, let's get walking. So far I've been impressed by the signage. It's not just at the critical points of junctions being left or right, but it's actually along the path in a reassuring way. So every now and again you'll be reminded that you're on the Isle of Anglesey Coastal Path. One of the things you'll note by looking at the symbol is that there's also a mark underneath for the Wales Coast Path. So we're actually following 2 coastal paths at the same time. However, the Wales Coast Path is 187 miles, which obviously I'm giving a miss for the moment. Right, onward we go. We're going in this direction. In memory of Guardsman David Richard Williams, Welsh Guards, killed in action at Bluff Cove, Falkland Islands, South Atlantic, 8th of June 1982, aged 20 years. One-time young warden at this reserve. So this is Stanley Embankment, constructed in 1823 as part of the London to Holyhead Road. Well, at least all the cows are not sat down, which is reassuring. This estuary has felt endless, but we are now crossing the bridge. So I've just walked along the beach there. It was actually 3/4 of a mile. Oh boy, when I said about the coastal path being relatively flat, of course that gives the implication that it may be relatively easy. However, when you have to walk 3/4 of a mile across a sandy beach with a 10-12k worth of pack and camera gear, you certainly feel it. So yeah, don't underestimate this particular walk, because there's a number of sort of beach crossings, so certainly something to take account of. So here's a useful map. So over towards the Dandelion we have Holyhead. We've come along the coast, over the embankment, then we went alongside the estuary here, we're back across, and we walked along the beach for about 3/4 of a mile, and we're somewhere around here now, and I'm trying to initially get to Church Bay, which is here, and then I want to get to kind of more over this way. So really I'm just trying to turn this corner by the end of the day, and it'll be just a question of how close I get to that. So we have Holyhead in the distance there, and we have yet another beach. It's totally empty, not a person in sight, and glorious sand. So who parked the boat over there? So this is really now starting to feel like a coastal path. The rugged and wild cliff sides, rather than the sandy beaches, which, given the weather this morning, with it being rather blowy, I was having to digest quite a bit of sand. I found my teeth were fairly gritty all the time. Yeah, not pleasant. Now this I can live with. Right, saying that, I best keep walking. So I don't think I'll be seeing many of those on my travels, and in fact it's the first one I've seen all day. So yeah, that cairn there is, we're overlooking Holyhead Bay, and at last it feels like we're finally free of Holyhead. So this is a useful map. It's actually talking about closure of the route from 14th of September to the 1st of Feb. Can't imagine many people come this way at that point of the year. Anyhow, it does nicely say we are here, and we were just looking at that kind of lake area, although it's not really deep enough to be a lake possibly, just more like a swamp. Anyhow, as I said, I did want to get to kind of around here, so that certainly looks doable.
So what would you have done? 6:15. Not really a time to set up camp from a wild camping point of view. But ahead, you can just about see the power station. And believe you me, it's an ugly looking building. Quite bizarre though. Just to the left of it, you can also see a medieval church. In fact, it was actually originally founded in the 6th century. I decided I didn't want to press on. I didn't want to spend the night next to that ugly thing.
So I'm going to try it, folks. I'm going to go for a paddle in the sea. I'm sure it'd be good for my feet after that 20 miles. Oh! Oh! I best go in. This is the life. So I think I'll talk to you from here in terms of my summary of the day. Well, yeah, started in Holyhead. The weather started off pretty well actually, but then, oops, hang on a minute, my trousers are getting wet now. Just need to crawl up a bit. Right, I guess the tide must be coming in. Feel a bit safer now. So as I was saying, the weather started reasonably good, and but then got just progressively worse, darker, more miserable. And because of where I was going, that first part of the walk, you're going along the bay and you kind of feel like you're not escaping from Holyhead. And particularly when you get to that estuary bit, that just feels like it goes on forever. But eventually you are rewarded. When you get past that embankment as well, yeah, things start to look up as you hit the actual coastal, more of the
where the countryside and the cliffs are. That's really good. And obviously that's where I am now. Just in knowing that I'm going towards the power station, which looked absolutely ugly. However, make the best of what you've got. So I'm enjoying my paddling. I don't think I've ever done this before, but I'm sure it's very good for my feet. Right, I'll sign out for now. Enjoy the views.
So it would appear I've gained some neighbours during the night. So this was my full morning view. And as you can see, I'm packed and ready to go. Interesting field this. We've got ducks, cows and sheep. So there's the chapel that we could see in the distance last night. Right in the far distance is the peak where we came to a cairn. In fact, the only cairn we've found so far. And we came from actually just over the Brell there this morning. So this is to commemorate the anniversary of the launching of the first lifeboat on the Isle of Anglesey. And I did wonder why it was actually here. It does say that the renovation was by the power station. However, just here you can actually see a slipway. So I guess it was possibly from here, and it is a sheltered bay here. So that's where we camped last night, and then we've come round here. There's the chapel that we were looking at. Just come all the way around here, and we're at this point here. And one of the reasons for getting up early is so I can get across this at low tide, rather than walking all the way around like that. So yeah, objective there. Well, that's a bit annoying. So it says I'm not allowed to walk along here during April, May, June and July because of nesting birds, which I guess is fair enough. Hey ho, I'll have to walk round after all. So that's where we were about probably taken me about 20 minutes to walk around on the road. But yeah, I could have come across there if it had been August, and it would have saved me probably, I guess, about a mile or so. So not such a big deal. Anyhow, we do have a useful map. Just hang on. So we have Holyhead here. And so yesterday we managed to get around here, across the embankment, then along this estuary here, and we managed to camp round about here, opposite what they call the scaries, which is, I think, a great name. I believe it's a Norse name. And then we're currently, this is the lagoon that I've just walked around, and then the next kind of port of call is really here. I'm trying to get to around here, just initially, so might be able to pick up a coffee and could do with some more water, and then along the coast and get to Amtwch. Now I'm not sure how much further I'll get down this way, but again, I'd love to turn the corner. I think that's my main objective, really, to try and get around this corner, but we shall see how we get on. National Trust land, but grazing includes a bull. So I found some random picnic table. Very bizarre where it actually is, but I suppose the good thing is that it's in the shade. So I've just been looking at the map. Apparently there is an opportunity of taking a shortcut, but I've decided we can push on and go to a particular head above us. It would take us out into the coast a little bit, and then we'll drop down into the town that we're aiming for. And I'm hoping to get some water there. I am desperately short of water now, and could probably do with another coffee. Yeah, I could probably do with another coffee as well. Right, I think I'm going to carry on resting, then I will get walking. There's so many of these idyllic coves. It's actually, don't have enough time to explore them all. now at the most northerly point of Anglesey. So Trevor, you were just telling me about the Brickworks down there. Can you explain it to me?
Yeah, sure. So you see the three round buildings.
Yeah.
They're the kilns.
Get ya.
To the right of the kilns, you'll see there's with now the graffiti on it.
Yeah, the man.
That's it. That's the old crushing house.
Ah, okay.
So if you look sort of to the right, I don't know if the camera will fall.
Yeah, I can see that.
You might have previously
Yeah,
filmed already.
take over there.
Yeah, the winch and the wheel. So there used to be an old tramway, and used to blast the quartzite from behind that wheel.
Yeah.
And then leave it virtually intact on a tramway down to that where the graffiti is.
Yeah.
In between the chimneys. That was the crushing house. They'd crush it, and the guys, when the Brickworks first started, used to wire cut each brick by hand and then put them into the kiln, fire them off.
Yeah.
And then the building towards us now, with the two-storey building with no roof, that was actually a warehouse.
Okay.
So the finished bricks would go in there.
Yeah.
And then the other side of those three, you can't quite see it, by the natural arch.
Yeah, got you.
To the right of that was the slipway. So the boats used to come in and take them all over the place.
Yeah.
And these bricks were specific, I forgot to tell you previously, was for the steel industry.
Oh, okay.
So when they were smelting steel in the furnaces there, the bricks were just prepared for that industry from here.
Wow. Well, thanks very much, Trevor.
You're very welcome. You're very
Brilliant
welcome.
meeting you. Thank you.
And good luck. Good luck with the rest of your travel.
Thank you. Whoops, taking a wrong turn. I'm on the wrong side of the harbour. So there's my next target. Not sure how close I'll get to it today, but no harm in trying. So it's really warm at the moment. I seem to be out of the wind a lot of the time, although just at the moment I do seem to be standing in the right spot at last. You can see I've had to put a wet handkerchief around my neck. Yeah, it's tough going. I've had to load up with water as well because I'm not quite sure, can't see on the map any water points. So I've added another 2k of water to my weight, so that's not great. So yeah, suffering a bit at the moment. It's about 4 o'clock, just gone 4 o'clock. I think I need a couple of more hours just to get a few more miles under my belt. Right, let's go and look at the lighthouse then. You can tell the Victorians built this. Look at the grand entrance. So there's been a lighthouse at Point Lynas since 1835, which was built by the Mersey Dock and Harbour Company to ensure safe passage of boats going into Liverpool. Can't believe this. First style I've come across. And of course it had to have happened when I have now loaded up with an extra 2 litres of water. That is so annoying. Anyhow, it must be done. Oh, that wasn't so bad after all. I've had worse moments. Ooh. So in the distance you can see a little island, and on there's a little tower, and that tower was a place where they used to store food for wrecked seamen. The other thing is, in the absolute far distance you can see the mountains that are on the mainland of Wales. Hi guys, so reflections on the day. Well, in actual fact, over the 2 days I've managed to work out that I've done about 35 miles. So that does mean I'm averaging about 17.5, 18 miles a day, which is on target for my 7 days. The other thing is, the overall route is supposed to be about 13,500 feet. I would think a lot of that climbing has been done today, and probably half of yesterday as well. So I think well on the way with doing things. I did manage to achieve my target of turning the corner. So the corner moving from the north to the east. So I'm now on the east coast, and tomorrow I want to get as near to Puffin Island as I can. So that's a little island down towards the bottom end of the east coast. Not sure I'll get there completely, but as near as I can would be really helpful. So I met some great people today. Quite a few people doing the walking bits as and when they can, which I think is really great. But I want to give a big thanks to Trevor, who did a historical narration of the Brickworks. We really appreciate your work, Trevor. Thanks very much. Right, I think that's it for now. I'm gonna set up camp, and yeah, I might chat later, or if not, I'll see you in the morning.